Love doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes quietly, like a feeling you try to ignore, until it becomes the reason you can't sleep at night. That was how Ivon felt the first time she looked at Irish and realized her heart was no longer hers to control. Irish had a laugh that stayed long after the sound faded. She was warmth disguised as chaos, kindness mixed with uncertainty. She didn't promise forever, but she made every moment feel like it mattered. And Ivon she loved deeply, silently, and without conditions. They didn't plan to fall in love. They didn't even name what they were. But love has a way of growing in the spaces between conversations, in the pauses, in the things left unsaid. Every stolen glance felt like a confession. Every goodbye felt like a warning. Ivon knew it from the beginning. Loving Irish would cost her something. Still she stayed, because love, even when it hurts, feels better than never loving at all. And before Ivon would ever let Irish go, there were truths that needed to be felt, and words that needed to be spoken. Ivon didn't fall in love all at once. It started with noticing. The way Irish said her name like it meant something. The way she leaned closer when she talked, as if the world faded when it was just the two of them. The way silence between them never felt empty. They met through Mia, a mutual friend who believed that broken people made the best company. Mia liked to joke that Ivon and Irish were opposites. Ivon was careful, guarded, always thinking 3 steps ahead. Irish was reckless in the softest way, living in the moment, afraid only of standing still. "You're too serious," Irish teased one afternoon as they sat on the rooftop, the city breathing beneath them. "And you're too careless," Ivon replied. Irish smiled. "That's why we balance each other." The word stayed with Ivon longer than it should have. From that day on, they became a routine late-night messages, shared secrets, coffee that lasted for hours. No labels, no expectations, just comfort. But comfort is dangerous when it starts to feel like home. One night, rain poured hard against the windows as they sat close on Ivon's couch. The movie played, forgotten. Irish's head rested on Ivon's shoulder, light but heavy enough to make her heart race. "This feels nice," Irish whispered. Ivon swallowed. "It does." She wanted to say more. She wanted to ask if nice could become something real. But fear has a way of stealing courage at the worst moments. Irish shifted, looking up at her. Their faces were close, too close. For a second, Ivon thought Irish might kiss her. Instead, Irish smiled sadly and pulled away. "Don't fall for me," she said softly. "I'm not someone you should love," but Ivon already had. And that was the moment she realized this wasn't the beginning of a love story. It was the beginning of an almost. After that night, everything changed, even though nothing was said. Irish became warmer but also distant. She laughed louder, touched Ivon's arm longer, yet avoided conversations that mattered. It was as if she was holding the door open and closed at the same time. Ivon noticed it all. "You've been quiet," Ivon said one evening as they walked along the street, city lights reflecting on wet pavement. "I'm just tired," Irish replied. It was always that just tired, just busy, just fine. But Ivon knew better. They stopped sitting too close, stopped sharing the kind of silences that felt safe. And yet, whenever Irish smiled at her, Ivon forgot every warning she had ever given herself. One night, Mia invited them both to a small gathering. Music played softly, People talked, laughed, lived. Ivon stood by the balcony when Irish joined her, holding 2 drinks. "For you," Irish said. Their fingers brushed. The air shifted. "I don't know why I do this to you," Irish suddenly said, staring out at the city. "Do what?" Ivon asked. "Act like I'm allowed to want you when I know I shouldn't." Ivan's heart pounded. "Then why do you?" Irish looked at her, eyes filled with something dangerous. "Because when I'm with you, everything feels real." That night, Irish left early, and Ivon stayed, holding feelings that had nowhere to go. Time passed, but the tension didn't fade. If anything, it grew heavier. Ivon learned to read Irish's moods the days she was distant, the nights she needed comfort but refused to ask for it. Loving her meant accepting half-truths and unfinished conversations. Then came Liam. Irish mentioned him casually like it meant nothing. "He's just someone I've been talking to," she said one afternoon, avoiding Ivan's eyes. But it meant everything. Ivon smiled. She always smiled. "I'm happy for you." It was the biggest lie she had ever told. After that, Irish pulled away. Not completely, never completely, but enough to hurt. Messages became shorter. Meetings less frequent. And every time Ivon thought she was finally letting go, Irish would come back, soft and familiar. One night, Irish showed up at Ivon's door, eyes tired, voice shaking. "I don't know what I'm doing," Irish confessed. "I care about you, but I can't choose you." The words cut deeper than anger ever could. Ivon closed her eyes, breathing through the pain. "Then stop coming back," Irish cried. Ivon didn't move, because loving someone who refuses to choose you feels like slowly disappearing. And that night, Ivon understood the truth she had been avoiding. Almost wasn't enough anymore. Not for love. Not for her. After that night, Ivon tried to leave. Not dramatically. Not loudly. She left in small ways, replying late, choosing distance, reminding herself that love shouldn't feel like begging. But Irish had a way of noticing even the smallest changes. "Are you avoiding me?" Irish asked one afternoon, her voice careful. "I'm protecting myself," Ivon answered honestly. Irish didn't know what to say to that. They sat across each other in a quiet cafe, hands resting on separate tables, hearts doing the opposite. Ivon watched Irish trace circles on her cup, a nervous habit she knew too well. "I don't want to lose you," Irish said. Ivon looked at her, eyes steady but tired. "You already are." Those words haunted them both. Still, Irish kept reaching out texts at midnight, calls when things felt heavy, apologies that never came with change. And Ivon kept answering, even when it hurt, because walking away takes more strength than staying. One night, Irish leaned her head on Ivon's shoulder again, like before. It felt familiar, dangerous. "I miss us," Irish whispered. Ivon closed her eyes. We never had an us. The silence after that was unbearable. There are moments when truth sits on the tip of your tongue, begging to be spoken. This was one of them. They stood under the city lights, the night thick with unsaid words. Irish shifted closer, hands trembling slightly. "Do you think things would have been different if I was braver?" Irish asked. Ivon laughed softly, not because it was funny, but because it hurt. Bravery isn't about asking what if after the damage is done. Irish looked at her then, really looked at her. "I love you," she said suddenly. The world stopped. Ivon felt her chest tighten. These were the words she had waited for, dreamed of. But timing has a cruel sense of humor. "Don't say that," Ivan whispered. Not like this. Why? Irish asked, tears forming. It's true. Because love without choice is just pain, Ivon replied. They stood there, inches apart, both wanting the same thing and yet reaching in different directions. And for the first time, neither of them moved. Not closer, not away, just stuck in the space where love exists, right before it breaks. After that night, they didn't talk for days, not because they agreed to stop, but because neither of them knew what words were still safe to say. Ivan tried to return to the life she had before Irish. Morning routines, work, small conversations with people who didn't know how her heart felt, like it was slowly learning how to breathe again without someone beside it. But love doesn't disappear just because you stop feeding it. Irish finally messaged her. I miss you. Ivon stared at the screen for a long time before replying. I miss who I was before this hurt. Irish didn't answer after that. When they finally saw each other again, it was accidental, or maybe fate being cruel. A bookstore they both loved. Same aisle, same silence. I didn't think you'd still come here, Irish said. I didn't think I'd survive if I stopped, Ivan replied. They walked together without touching, as if afraid even that might undo the fragile distance they had built. I'm trying, Irish said quietly. I really am. Ivon nodded. She believed her. And that somehow made it worse. Some loves don't ask to be loud. They exist in restraint, in the way Ivan learned to love Irish quietly without expectations, without asking for more than Irish could give. They became careful versions of themselves. No long talks about feelings, no late-night confessions, just presence. Too much presence. One evening, they sat on the floor of Irish's apartment, backs against the couch, music playing softly. Not romantic, not distant, something in between. I wish I met you at a different time, Irish said. So do I, Ivon answered. That was the tragedy of it. Timing, not love, kept winning. Irish rested her head on Ivan's shoulder again, and this time Ivon didn't pull away. She let herself feel it, knowing it might be one of the last times. Because loving someone quietly still hurts, but sometimes it's the only way love knows how to stay. Staying is a choice people rarely talk about. Everyone understands leaving, but staying when it hurts, when it costs you pieces of yourself, that takes a different kind of courage. Ivon felt the weight of it every day. She noticed how Irish had changed. Less laughter, more pauses, a sadness that settled in her eyes whenever Ivon was around, as if love itself had become a reminder of everything she couldn't choose. I don't want to be the reason you're unhappy, Ivon said one night. Irish shook her head quickly. You're not. You're the reason I feel alive. That's not the same thing, Ivan replied. Irish looked away. She always did when the truth felt too close. There were nights when Irish would hold Ivan's hand like it meant forever, and mornings when she'd let go like it meant nothing. And Ivon learned hope can be just as painful as heartbreak. They stood at the train platform waiting, not to leave together, just waiting. Irish's train arrived first. It always did. Ivan watched as people rushed past them, living lives that felt so much simpler. If I asked you to stay, Irish said softly, would you? Yvonne's chest tightened. Yes, she answered honestly. And that's why you shouldn't ask. Irish smiled sadly, tears threatening to fall. You deserve someone who never hesitates. And you deserve to be brave, Ivon replied gently. The train doors opened. For a moment, Irish didn't move. She looked at Ivon like she was memorizing her face, the sound of her breathing, the love she was about to walk away from. Then she stepped back, not leaving yet, not staying either, just standing there, between love and fear, between now and never. Irish didn't come back after that day. No long goodbye, no final conversation, just absence. Ivon waited not because she believed Irish would return, but because letting go felt like erasing something sacred. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into a quiet understanding. Some people leave without meaning to, and some loves end without closure. One evening, Ivon found herself back on the rooftop where everything had once felt possible. The city lights were the same, but she wasn't. Her phone buzzed. "I'm sorry I couldn't choose you." Ivon read it once, then again. This time she didn't cry. She typed slowly, carefully, like every word deserved respect. "I loved you enough to stay. Now I love myself enough to let you go." She didn't wait for a reply. Before she blocked the number, Ivon whispered the truth she never got to say out loud. "I would have chosen you every time." The wind carried her words away, and for the first time, letting go didn't feel like losing. It felt like surviving. Love isn't always about staying. Sometimes love is knowing when to stop waiting, when to stop hoping for a choice that never comes, when to finally choose yourself. Ivon loved Irish in the purest way she knew, without demands, without conditions, without guarantees, and even when love wasn't returned the way it was given, it was still real. Because love doesn't become meaningless just because it ends. Some loves are meant to teach us what we deserve. Some people are meant to stay only long enough to change us. And even after goodbye, love lingers, not as pain, but as proof that we were brave enough to feel. This wasn't a story about forever. It was a story about loving deeply and letting go when love was no longer enough.